Hey guys, it's Troy here, and today is day 3, the biggest day of the DC Pen Show for the public. It started early this morning. We actually got a much later start than normal on purpose, because the line had died down quite a bit by the time my lovely bride decided that she was going to go in. And, we got a chance to sleep in a little bit. And quite honestly, we'd already been doing the Pen Show thing for a couple of days. So today, believe it or not, was probably our biggest pen haul that we did. One of the things I love about pen shows is getting a chance to talk to people. I mean, I was downstairs talking to people like David Oscarson. I always have a good chat with David. He's a great guy. He has some awesome products. A little bit out of my price range, but I love his stuff. And maybe someday I'll be able to show you guys some David Oscarson products that I picked up at his table at a pen show or online. Which, by the way, in talking to David Oscarson, he said that he has just done a total website redo. You know who else was telling me that same thing? Ryan Krusak was telling me. So if you find Ryan Krusak online, he's working on a new website as well. So that seems to be a common theme. Got to talk to Dante Del Vecchio. He is an absolute legend in the pen community. He was a designer for Visconti for years, and now he works with Peniter. I'm going to show you a Peniter here just a few moments, okay? So, some of the highlights here and some of the downsides. The highlights. Let's see. People. I mean, more than anything else, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of people that I know, and getting to know a few other people that I see at shows all the time, stopping, talking to them. Last night, what I did was I went to, from 7:30 to 9 o'clock here, they had a forum for beginners purchasing vintage pens. Now, quite honestly, I have done enough, so this really was a beginner's class with some Q&A with some people that I've gotten to know. If you look on my Instagram, you can see the picture that I took of that, as well as some of the names of the people who were on that panel. So let's just dive into our pen haul from today. Now, you probably have heard, if you see my other videos, that I'm here with the whole family. No, not my oldest, because he's out of the house, okay? But my younger two children are here with us. And you've seen at least Matthew on some of our pen videos. Well, Matthew, because we picked up one for my son Ben the other day, or yesterday, he wanted a Pelican. And the lighting in this room is really horrible. I didn't bring a whole setup here, but he kind of wanted a Pelican twist as well. Matthew already has a Pelican twist, but because we got Ben one, you got to get the other. I mean, I swear these kids would argue if you didn't give them something. I mean, I think if I took one of my dog turds that from our dog and wrapped it in a box and gave it to one, the other one would complain he didn't get one too. That's just how my kids are, so go figure. Along that same line, just to placate, we helped buy Matthew a pen. And now I know Ben's going to squawk. Well, we went ahead and stopped by Federalist Pens. Our buddy Frank and his brother Mark. We picked him up a Pilot Metropolitan. So, Ben, not being a huge fountain pen aficionado, he does enjoy ballpoints more so. But you can't really go wrong with a Pilot Metropolitan. I mean, they're fairly indestructible, and he is a novice, and so that'll get him started. So it's a red, it has a fine nib on it. I don't think Ben's going to be real picky about the nib on a fountain pen. So, but I'm going to show you what Ben also got. We spent some time talking to my buddy Jim Hines. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I've got a fairly decent relationship with Jim Hines. I got to be honest with you, Jim and his significant other, Elise. I love them as a couple, and I get along with them on a personal level. Always enjoy seeing them. Elise wasn't able to make it to the show. She runs Starry Night Resins, and she actually did stuff like this. This is one of her resins from Starry Night. This, I believe, is called the Bougie Ombre. So this is one for Benjamin. believe it or not, yes, Benjamin now has a Jim Hines pen. We stopped by Jim's table and we said, Benjamin was complaining that he's the only one who doesn't have a Jim Hines pen. So that situation got remedied. So he's got one. And of course, my lovely bride could not say, I don't want, I want a Jim Hines pen too. Yeah. So, okay. So Jim is using these cardboard boxes now. It's been an evolution for him as to, the boxes that he's been supplied with. But this is one that my bride picked out right here. So, and I think she got a matching nib. So it's a purple nib to go along with that green and purple pen. I mean, I don't even know what this model is called, but it is pretty cool looking. We walk around the show and anything that's pink or especially purple, we know that my sweetie is going to be interested in, and she saw this one. Now, I didn't think she'd go for the green thing, but hey, she picked it out, and she even paid for it with her own money. Whew. Yeah, I dodged that one. She's behind me laughing, okay. And they shared with me something too, is a beak nib, a Bach, a nib that was turned into like a beak hook in a bend. So I'm going to put that into a pen at home that accepts Bach, and I'm going to play with it. But it's an extra fine nib, and they asked me, hey, why don't you take this home, play with it, tell me what you think. So I'll go be playing with that. Why not? I got some pens that take Bach nibs. Absolutely. Another pen vendor that I've gotten to know a little bit, some of the guys at Navalar, they're still going to be Narwhal to me. I know they changed their name. They're still going to be Narwhal to me, but I'm trying to get in the habit of at least calling them Navalar. Narwhal. But they have recently introduced a pen that is a vac filler. Okay? A vac filler. So I picked up for myself this one here. And these are only like $55. So the price is not bad at all. And they have them in different resins as well for, I think, $60 or so for a different resin. But I kind of like this blue one. It's not quite a demonstrator, but you might as well call it one. But it has the blue. And they actually had one, a totally clear demonstrator, which, by the way, I didn't see until after I'd already bought one in blue. But I went ahead and got mine in a broad nib. I must have gotten some of the last broad nibs that they had. I'll tell you why in a moment. Why I know that. But we'll see how this does. This is a vac filler. So I'm looking forward to playing with it. Got to be honest with you, I like Navalar better than TWSBI. I've become really a non-TWSBI fan. I know a lot of people are into TWSBI. I've broken TWSBIs. I don't like how TWSBI handled some things recently, especially with Navalar and dealing with them, but I really didn't appreciate that at all. So I'm not a TWSBI fan. I'm just tired of breaking TWSBIs and having problems with TWSBIs. I've never had a problem with a Navalar or, Narwhal. Yes, Narwhal. My bride, after seeing the one that I had purchased, and I'd come back up to our hotel room because we are staying here at the Venue Hotel, her being into purpley stuff I shared with you earlier, she wanted a vac filler as well. Now, why did we get that Pilot Metropolitan earlier? I said earlier about, they wouldn't be happy if somebody else got one. Well, Matthew decided he wanted to match Mommy, but they had a different purple one. So he went ahead and got a vac filler for himself, too, in a different purple, which really surprised me. I thought he'd go for like the green or maybe the yellow. No, he wasn't going for it. All right, let's see. I think next to lastly, because I may just have to pause a little bit to grab something else because it's kind of big and it's kind of out of my reach at the moment on purpose. But Dante Del Vecchio, like I said, a legend in the pen community. Worked with Visconti for years, was their designer, went to go work for Piniter. So, got a chance to stop and talk to him. I've been on Zoom calls with Dante previously. For those of you who know my buddy Larry's Fountain Pens and his YouTube channel, Larry had done some video work or a Zoom call with Dante Del Vecchio as a guest. And I was on one of those Zoom calls. I think he did more than one call with Dante. But it was kind of neat when I stopped and talked to Dante, and I said, Dante, I've been wanting to meet you in person. And he said, I remember you from the Zoom call. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And speaking of which, for those of you who have stopped by, that maybe you walked around the show and you kept stopping by and you come up to me and say, hey, I love your videos, or I've seen your videos. And I just want to say thank you, by the way. Thank you for watching. And thank you for coming up and saying something. I really appreciate the feedback. I'm glad that people are actually watching. And I'm grateful for all of you, okay? But I'm also grateful for Dante spending time with me, hanging out and talking to me. And we had a really good conversation. Now, I kind of had been eyeballing some Piniters. There's a few out there that are the lower end Piniters that I thought maybe I'll get one of those smaller ones, but this is one that I've been looking at for a while that caught my eye, the Alchemist. Matter of fact, I think it's right there on the box, the Alchemist. Or is that upside down? No, I had it right the first time. But the Alchemist was a pretty cool looking pen, I thought. So I'm down talking to Dante, and I said, hey, tell me about these here a little bit. And one of the things that Dante did is he hand writes notes. I mean, he came over from Italy for this pen show, and I saw him doing this for other people who had purchased their products. There was one guy who bought one like $1,100 or $1,200 high-end pen. So Dante was hand writing these little notes for you, wanted to make sure that you had something. He's really proud of his work, and as well he should be proud. I mean, Dante, like I said, he's kind of a legend in the pen business, and he's helped build Piniter up to a really nice, decent company. So this is what the inside of the box looks like. One of the things I'll show you too is he showed me this little tool. Set that down at the moment, and apparently it's got like an ink. I'll pull this out, and like a little ink well that comes with it. But this, I had no intention of splurging on this at all today. I really thought I was doing good. I was holding off on a lot of purchases, and I was trying to be a good boy. Matter of fact, this morning I was really tempted to go buy that Peacock pen, that Lotus Peacock pen, but apparently they sold it first thing this morning. And that's fine, not knowing Lotus all that well, I figured that might have been a risk. Pen was gorgeous. They'll make more. But this is the Alchemist right here. The Alchemist. It's got a magnetic clip or a magnetic cap to it, just like that. And it is a piston filler. And this had a rose gold nib on it. And I managed to get a 1.1 stub, the last 1.1 stub that they had in stock. And because they were telling me that they come in most sizes, blah blah blah. Stub. I said, if you had a stub, I'm in, because the more I write with 1.1 stubs, the more I like them. So, and he said, I don't know as though we got them. Let me check. And lo and behold, they didn't have any in a pen, but they did have some stock of 1.1 stubs, and I got the last one. So I'm looking forward to playing with this. It is a piston filler, and this little thing that kind of looks like a wire nut, Dante was showing me how to use it. He actually demonstrated it for me, and you put it on, and then it was just a way to make it easy. You can still grab a hold of this little twist piece here, but he did this to make it easy on his piston filler. So, and that just comes right off like that. Kind of comes together, and then that part comes off. So anyway, that is the Alchemist. And the very last thing that we picked up here at the pen show is a box. This. a 60 pen display case, and essentially it's like a suitcase or a small suitcase or basically like a briefcase style, and it has two sides to it with displays. Now, some vendors use some of these. I saw that and at another pen show, and I was intrigued by it and kept that in the back of my mind, and they happened to have it on sale, pen show special. So we broke down and I bought it. It's something that occasionally I'm asked to share or to speak, or just meet up with some folks and talk about pens and show off pens, or pen swaps kind of things. So I decided that might be a good way to do that, to be able to carry them. Essentially, that's our pen show for DC 2023. The one thing that's going on tonight that I might want to go check out, the Black Pen Society meets tonight at 9 o'clock, and I may make my way down to the bar area where they hang out. And essentially, anybody who loves black pens is welcome. And it's kind of a fun thing. And Paul Arano, was talking to him again today, and he was one of the panelists from last night for the little talk that I went to on vintage. He's got like Paul's pen journal that you can subscribe to. You can look them up, Google them online. So that's about it, guys. This is probably, it's going to be our last pen show for quite a while, because they don't come around again for shows that we go to until I think June of next year. So this will be the last one probably for 2023. Maybe that's a good thing, because I don't know if my budget can take many more pen shows. And I can't take being away on a trip with my two youngins too much longer. But anyway, guys, if you see me by the time I post this, the show is probably going to be over. But if you ever see me walking around a pen show and you just want to stop and talk, I welcome that. Feel free to reach out. My email is in the description section here. I look forward to hearing from you guys, my viewers, and thank you for all the support that you've given us. Thank you for watching our videos. Please like and subscribe. And one other thing, these t-shirts, I'll tell you what, I've stopped working with this company, I think. I'm not happy with the t-shirt company that's doing these. One of the things in particular, I had actually ordered two shirts, and I have been waiting for several months, and they refuse to get back in touch with me. And if they're willing to do that to me, and they have taken my money and not given it back, I mean, a lot of people have ordered shirts, and thank you for that. But for them to take my money and not give me the product, and gyp a couple people that I was going to gift to them those shirts, I was ticked. I was not happy. So if you're looking at any previous videos where it has the link to go buy these shirts, I don't recommend you do it from this point forward. I'm going to look for another company to work with in order to make these shirts available. Today I was walking around, and there was a guy who said, "I still have your shirt." Like, really? I don't even remember giving him one. But I actually had, like a couple of years ago, I had a bag full of t-shirts like this that I had ordered in bulk. And I think he does like some of these Urushi pens. And he said, "I still actually have your shirt." And I wear it every so often. I'm like, cool, thanks. All right, guys. Talk at you later. Appreciate you watching. Bye.